the trade deadline was pretty busy, but have you started planning off-season content? What? No, not yet. Why? Well, I don't know. You only got a few more weeks left. I don't have a few. Whoa! 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 Let's go!
Do you have a humiliation kit? This is all I ask you to do.
I'm having a great finger flick. You're allowed to show up.
This team is ruining my life. I'm taking crazy pills.
With you, wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Leafs lose 3-2 against the Florida Panthers in big ol' regulation. That is a regulation loss. That is an L, just a big ol' L, nothing attached to it. No assembly required. One line, another line. L. That's it. And what does Florida get? Dub. They get a big old W. That is a ROW. That is a regulation win in regulation. Breaking down the nuts and bolts of this game feels unfair because that none of us, the impression I get is none of us want to talk about it. I love a complicated, beautiful game. I love a game where, like, oh man, if you weren't paying attention to every detail, you totally missed the point. This happened, which caused this, which caused that, which caused that. Everything is linear and it's beautiful and it changes on a dime and it exists in the heroic minutia. You're gonna hear a lot of people, the Leafs, talk about this game like it was a really, really tight one that they could have had. And you know what? They could have. Heck, they led the thing 1-0 2 minutes into the game. Nope, not even kind of. Get them a Lululemon gift card because their pants are on fire. Oh, they only lost by 1 goal, but like, they only lost game 7 by 1 goal too. Like, you win or you don't. That's how sports work. At this point in the season, down the stretch, competing for first place in the division, you are no longer in the moral victory business. Also, this wasn't a moral victory. They could have played just as bad and won, and I would still have the same reservations about this team, but you know what the difference would be? They would have 2 more points! And now Florida, who the Leafs play 2 more times in what's left of this season, pulls further ahead, and the Leafs slip further and further away, and a 2 versus 3 matchup against the Lightning seems more and more likely, and the Leafs are a bad week and the Lightning are a good week away from the Leafs. Forget winning the division, no longer having home ice advantage in the first round! That game wasn't nice. That game wasn't nice at all. But before we talk about that not nice thing, let's talk about something that is nice. Aura Frames. Finding the perfect gift can be hard sometimes. I ask for the same thing every year, and every year I get the same response. Steve, I can't just make them win the cup. All right, fine. Here's another idea. How about Aura Frames? Named the #1 best digital frame by Wirecutter, they are an easy, thoughtful gift for your loved ones and pals. Every year, I always have trouble shopping for, everybody. You ever try buying a gift for Jesse Blake? It's hard. But Aura Frames would be perfect for him because he could load pictures of his dog Waffles. Mine has Iggy on it. Look at him. Look at the little noodle. Now, instead of spending hours at the store, I'm spending my time selecting photos to put on my Aura frame. Like this one. This is one of my favorite photos of Iggy. You can upload as many photos as you want before and after it's shipped out from anywhere. And you don't have to agonize over choosing one perfect photo. There's unlimited storage. Your mom, your grandma, your favorite team's general manager, they can all swipe at the top of the frame and select their favorite photos as well. Make gift shopping easier than ever and give them a thoughtful gift that they'll love. Want one? I'm not hogging them all to myself. You can have one too. Right now, you can have the perfect gift that keeps on giving by going to auraframes.com. For a limited time, you will get $25 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with the promo code DANGLE, D-A-N-G-L-E. That's auraframes.com, A-U-R-A frames.com with the promo code DANGLE. See? That was nice. Now back to the not nice. Things start good. Things start great. William Nylander finds John Tavares, who just rips the thing exactly 2 minutes in. Hooray. Tavares' 27th goal of the season. Hooray. Also, Max Domi was getting criticized earlier today because there was a quote going around about like, winning the division doesn't matter. I'd be mad at him too if I didn't know that he lied. What was it? His second shift comes out and tries to literally kill Carter Verhaeghe. Takes the biggest run at him possible and annihilates him. Slow to get up. And then Nate Schmidt with like a cross check and a whack, but like he didn't really want it. Max wanted it. And Max, it's like, buddy, you don't need to anymore. All the candy's on the floor. I think the pinata's empty. beat the Schmidt out of him. He's just Nate now. What did you think I said? So, like, it's easy to feel pretty good about the Leafs' start to this game. But then there were 2 penalties in the first period, both of them going against the Leafs. Both of them, David Kampf, goaltender interference on Sergei Bobrovsky. I don't know. Fine. The second one sucked. The puck is down in Stolarz' stuff, and the Panthers are poking at it, and they're 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 poking at it. You should have seen it live. Poking at it, and they're poking at it, and they're poking at it. If it was live, it would still be going. Finally, the ref blows the play dead. And then Ekman Larsson punches Samoskevich in the face, and in the ref's defense, you can't do that. Not for like another, I don't know, 6 weeks? Like 5-6 weeks? And then OEL takes a 2-hand slash to the leg, which, like, it's his shin pad. He's gonna be fine. But very often in a situation like that, where there's a whole lot of poking and pushing and shoving, the ref takes both. Especially when the team who was doing the poking hasn't gotten a penalty yet and the other team has. Ref says, nope, we're gonna have a nice little 2-0 period. Sure enough, it's the guy who drew the penalty, finding Sam Bennett, who puts it in way too easy. It was not a smart penalty for OEL to take, and OEL, I don't know how many more times I gotta remind you of this, but this game is actually the perfect reminder for you. You're not on the Panthers anymore. Panthers fans go, oh, Leaf fans, diaper, whatever. Dude, you're on the Leafs. They call those now. You no longer play for Prison Rules Paul. Now, in fairness, Craig Berube has a little bit of Prison Rules Paul to him. Like Paul Maurice, he loves screaming at a ref. But Craig Berube, like, won a Stanley Cup in 2019 because the Blues took, I think it was 16 minor penalties in the first 2 games of the Stanley Cup final. And he gets up in front of a podium, and I'm paraphrasing, but he goes, hey, cut it out. And they did. The Blues very famously won a game in that series off a game-winning goal from a non-call. And they win the cup. That luck has not, as of yet, followed Craig Berube to Toronto. It's funny. You know, it's just luck. Anyway. The Panthers outshoot the Leafs in the first period. Overall, not disastrous. Okay, it's tied. Whatever. You know what? You're tired. You've been tired. 2 days off. We've been on the road. You're at home. The rest of the game is yours. Nope. The Leafs got caved in for like the majority of the rest of the game. It wasn't until the Panthers were 2 goals ahead that the Leafs even kind of showed up. Leafs were holding on for most of the second. AJ Greer finds a wide open Nico Mikkola, who is never going to have a more clear shot at this. He beats Anthony Stolarz because, well, NHL players with time and space can score from anywhere. Mikkola's got his 5th goal of the season, and now the Panthers have the lead. Oh, we don't like that. Especially when, during the first 8 minutes of the second period, guess what? Even up calls. AJ Greer takes a penalty out of a scrum, and as a Leafs fan, I'm telling you that call sucks. They don't score. Sam Bennett got an interference penalty blocking Simone Benoit from getting a breakaway. I'm gonna say that again. Simone Benoit almost got a breakaway, and it drew a penalty, and the Leafs did nothing with it. That is the hockey gods handing you a gift and you spit in their face. Followed by, you guessed it. Oh, you guessed it. The Leafs take a too many men on the ice call. Too many of those in recent memory for my liking. Guess who it is again? Sam Bennett is looking to cash in this summer as an unrestricted free agent, and I am here to tell you, retire from hockey altogether. You cannot buy real estate like this in Toronto. Look at all that. Not a banner night for the penalty kill. Ew and yuck. And the Panthers take a 3-1 lead into the second intermission, into the third period. You know what? Here it is. Here's the comeback. You're allowed to get those. Utah got one the other night. They at least got a point in the standings. They needed that. Hey, you need that. Isn't that funny? Hey, remember the other night when you had a lead on Colorado and then Colorado came and beat you by 3 goals? You're good. They're good, but you're good too. Go out there and do it. You can do it. The Leafs had some flurries. The Leafs had some chances. Dude, Yarncroke, who's been great since returning to the lineup, finds Domi. Domi gets a breakaway, and I'm like, this is gonna be... Oh! Max Domi, whose shot I have criticized all season long, because it's been bad, with a bullet, a laser beam, perfectly under the glove and over the pad of Sergei Bobrovsky, one of the league's best goaltenders. The Leafs took Max Domi's best game of the season, best game for months. He's finally on the wing, should have never been at center, and they took that game and they crumpled it up into a nice tight ball, and they squeezed it, and they crumpled it up some more, and they squeezed it, and they put it in their mouth, and they chewed it for a little bit, and they put it back in their hand, and now they got a little bit of, like, it's extra malleable because of the moisture. Disgusting word, moisture. And they crumpled it up, and they threw it over their shoulder into the streets. The third period was a masterclass in how you beat a team in the playoffs. The only problem is it was performed by the Florida Panthers. Unbelievably skilled. Dude, the shootout moves and the hands and the stuff that Barkov does that makes it to the highlight reel, that's not why he's a special player. The sheer amount of times the Panthers dump it, and the Leafs are desperate. They're desperate to get out. The amount of times the Panthers dump it, and Barkov and his band of merry men, they go in there and they just stop the Leafs for a while. They just stop them for a while. They don't generate a shot on goal. They don't generate a shot attempt. They don't look dangerous in any way, shape, or form. But the puck stays so far away from their net, and it stays far away from their net for another 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 30 seconds, and they do that to you enough times that they just bleed time off the clock. Does this sound familiar? Does this not sound eerily familiar? Here, maybe it doesn't yet. Here, don't worry, I'm getting there. Then the Leafs, well, what do? Well, they get to center ice and, oh, look at that, there's a bunch of Panthers. Well, we don't like them. They're not on our team. We need to get around them somehow. You know what we're going to do? We're going to dump. Oh, did you think there was more to the strategy? I had so many people go, oh, the Leafs keep doing this dump and chase thing, dump and chase. No, they very didn't. They did what they did against the Bruins, which is dump and don't chase. They dump it, not a Leaf in sight. Panthers were first, second, and third on every puck. Oh, the Leafs are forechecking. They're putting on pressure. No, they're not. They're nowhere to be found. So the Leafs dump and don't chase. The Panthers retrieve. They gain center and dump it and do chase because they are a competent team worth believing in and watching, and the reigning Stanley Cup champions. And they would waste time in the Leafs end again. And the Leafs, when they finally caught their breath because they're exhausted, they caught their breath, they gained center, and they dumped it again. And was there a Leaf there? Was there? No. Did Drew bleep it? What'd he bleep it with? I mean, he didn't bleep anything. I said nothing. Clock winds down, as it tends to do when you do nothing. And the Leafs lose, and the Panthers doop. 2 points in the standings. Questions. Here, let's have a chat. You know what? We need some quotes, because young Jesse Blake was at the game. Berube on the Leafs play tonight. You always want to be better. You got to push through this and get better. But we competed hard, and it was a hard game. It was a tough, tight hockey game. Bless him. Sticking up for his guys. No, it wasn't. Also, that wasn't a tight hockey game. I got the impression the Leafs tried hard in that game and were drowning. And for Florida, they played a Thursday night game. That is regular. That is the regular Florida Panthers. They barely threw hits. You think that's the Panthers trying? Without Ekblad, without Marchand, without, who else are they missing? Oh my God, Matthew Tkachuk. That was the short-handed Florida Panthers playing a regular season game. And you were trying and you lost. And you need to catch them. And you're further away from that goal than you were this morning. Shame on you. Oh, he keeps going. Craig Berube on the Leafs' recent stretch of games. I think our guys have been through a lot and need some rest. We'll get some rest tomorrow and get ready for Saturday. Yeah, that's what everyone wants to hear. That's cool. You just had 2 days off. You're at home. Well, they're coming off a long road trip. It's the NHL. It's the National Hockey League. Are you serious? It's the NHL. A bunch of guys on this team have played in the Western Conference. Are you serious? horrifying. Don't worry, it gets easier in the playoffs. The hits tickle. It's fine. Can we talk about Matthews clearly being hurt? Dude looks like a shell of himself right now. Okay, so the Matthews discourse has been funny because his goal scoring has been down for a while, but he was riding like a 12-game point streak or something. Well, now he's gone pointless for 2 straight. And like that's a lot of straight games. He's the highest paid player in the National Hockey League this year. His injuries have been documented and we know them, but like Tavares has 27 goals this season, Nyes is 24, Matthews is 23. Do you remember off season and before the season, for a long time, I was saying, hey, Matthews scored 69 goals last year. That's an insane amount of goals. That's the most goals of the Cap era, kind of by a lot. What if he doesn't score that again? Like, what if he gets 50? If he scores 50 goals, that's 19 goals that the Leafs need to make up from somewhere. And now it's looking like, forget 19, he's going to hit like 30, 35 goals. Now, one thing you got going on for you is you've got way better goaltending this season. Okay. But if Matthews scores 34 goals, that'll be under half of the goals that he scored last year. 35 would be just over. I know he's missed time. I know he's been injured, but like it's a factor. It's a concern. You know how you keep looking at the Vancouver Canucks like for months and you're like, why is Pettersson playing if he's very obviously hurt? Yeah, no, like that, but here. From Michael DiStefano, Austin Matthews fails to score again tonight and has just 1 goal at 5-on-5 in his last 16 games since January 23rd and just 5 primary points in that same stretch. So he had that crazy point streak, but only 5 primary points in 16 games. The captain, oh yeah, he's the captain, needs to find his offensive touch ASAP for Toronto. He's getting chances, but needs to convert 2.7 5-on-5 shots percentage. Oh my God. So, like, maybe he's just unlucky, or maybe something's wrong. Sometimes the two follow each other around. But, like, Tavares, I thought, had a very good game. Domi obviously had a very good game. Bobby McMahon had his best game in a while. Boy, Matthews, even though Nylander had an assist, I think you can add him to that. Marner, I think you could add to that. All 3 of those guys were ordinary. Ordinary. A 1 assist game, like even there's nights where that's not good enough for William Nylander. You make $11.5 million. In a salary cap, that matters. It matters. It matters that Matthews is struggling. It matters that any night where Nylander looks ordinary. It matters any night Marner looks ordinary. It matters. And if Matthews can't get it back, we got to look at a way to redistribute the wealth. This one's not a question. I just hate it. Maple Leafs fall to 8-9-0 versus Eastern Conference teams that are currently in a playoff position with a -10 goal differential. It's not even that. It's they've been awful lately. The Leafs haven't beaten a team by more than a goal since February 23rd against Chicago. And speaking of the trade deadline, I know it can be difficult adjusting to a new team. The Leafs had their first practice in a long time just the other day. Lawton is a guy. I didn't even mention this play with Seth Jones just saving the puck on the blue line and Lawton not being able to get the puck out of the zone, even though he basically tripped Jones and it went uncalled. But outside of like those like minute moments, he's some guy. Berube tried to get him involved. He didn't play him a ton. Like, right now, he just looks like some guy. I have faith that he won't just be some guy, but boy, we're running out of time here. That's the thing with the trade deadline and getting guys at the last minute. There's not a lot of time. And oof, Brandon Carlo. Like, there are micro moments where he looks so good and others where he's a guy. While we're at it, Pontus Holmberg. No, the Leafs needed a goal for a full 20 minutes. They needed 2 goals, actually, for a chunk of it. Nick Robertson sitting in the press box with captain one hand on the stick in Pontus Holmberg. Like, what's the fourth line thing? What do they do? Last year, okay, so the Panthers had an unreal fourth line in the playoffs, and they rotated it. Steven Lorentz was on it some of the time. Okay. Kevin Stenlund, I don't blame Utah for giving him multi-million dollars over multiple years. I wish the Leafs traded heaven and earth for him at the deadline. That's how good he was during the playoffs. He was unreal. Ryan Lomberg, the Lamborghini, and Kyle Okposo. I don't know if I'm missing anybody. So you got Okposo, who he played with some jam, but he can score a bit. Stenlund is just a really good player. Just a really good player. Lorentz, we know what Steven Lorentz is. He's Steven Lorentz, and the Leafs have him. Great. Big guy, little offense, mostly just defense. Okay. And the Lamborghini is, he bangs and crashes. The Florida Panthers' fourth line had a job to do, and they did it. The fourth line is just the here we are line. We're out here, and it's our shift, and we are the ones on the ice playing hockey against you. Are you ready for zero offense and the gentlest puck battles you've ever seen? Because 29 doesn't hold his stick! I know Nick Robertson has like defensive deficiencies sometimes, but he really cleaned those up, I thought, over the past month. And there is the vaguest maybe chance he might score. That, I think, is one of the worst things to come out of the deadline. Like, the guys at the top of the lineup aren't doing what they need to do. The new guys aren't doing what they need to do. I know that. The fourth line is nothing. It's not a thing. Is that your defensive shutdown? Yeah, we're going to lock this game down. No, it's not. Also, you might want to work on getting the lead. How do you get the lead? Score goals! How are Leo and Isla doing? Leo's good. Isla started daycare a week ago. So anyway, she's got an ear infection. And lastly, because I want to end by filling you with existential dread, is there any scenario where you will feel somewhat comfortable with who the Leafs play in the first round? What? What? Feeling comfortable in the first round is for hockey teams. Like reputable hockey teams. What are you talking about? What? Okay. How do you feel? Okay, we're not in the same room. It's okay. Answer this by yourself. Are you comfortable with the Leafs playing the Panthers? Okay. Are you comfortable with the Leafs playing the Lightning? Okay. Are you comfortable with the Leafs playing the Caps? Okay. Are you comfortable with the Leafs playing the Hurricanes? No. Okay. Are you comfortable with the Leafs playing the Devils? Oh, well, they have injuries, so you must. Yeah, no. Okay. Are you comfortable with the Leafs playing the set? Yeah, I won't even let it leave my mouth. You're right. And the Blue Jackets, who you have no reason in the entire world to. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, you know. No! The Leafs' reputation is they suck at this. Bad, awful, garbage, stink at this. This is what we're hoping changes. And we were happy, weren't we? With what they did at the deadline? Even if you didn't like the price they paid, you're like, well, they got Scott Lutton, they got Brandon Carlo. Maybe they might still fit in. There's still enough games left in the season where they might do okay. They might convince you that this is a team worth, letting break your heart. Maybe they won't break your heart. Maybe they'll win. Maybe they'll win. They're playing awful. Awful. And I want to know how long the "we're tired" excuse is going to be used, because I hate it a lot. Listen, it's looming. I don't like talking about it. I like focusing on this team, focusing on how this team can get better, can be the best version of themselves heading into the playoffs. That's what I'm most interested in. But looming over them is the Marner contract, or the lack thereof, the John Tavares contract, or lack thereof. Those are both incredible players. Marner has arguably been the Leafs MVP this season. John Tavares had a great game in this one. He's turned back the clock. He's going to beat his goal total from last year, his assist total from last year, his point total from last year. He's completely turning back the clock. He's going to get like 70 points, right? And he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. How many unrestricted free agents are scoring 70 points? The Leafs might have 2 of them this year. You'd be insane. You'd be absolutely out of your mind to let not 1 but 2 70-plus point scorers. Marner has 80-plus points right now. You'd be insane to let guys who are going to, by the time the season is done, they're going to have like 170 combined points. You'd be insane to let them walk. And I would do it in a millisecond if they lost in the first round again this year. What are you preserving? No, we got to keep them. Why? Why? Why do you have to keep them? All the sustained success? Letting go of them, there's no guarantee that you go out there and find a better team. But I can tell you this, if they lose in the first round again this year, or win the first round and are unsatisfactory in the second round, like they were in 2023 when they lost to the Panthers, there's no reason to preserve this. We've said this every year. Every year. This is it. This is it. How could this not be it? Like, okay, Brendan Shanahan, if they lose in the first round, is going to lose his job. He's for sure not going to be the president anymore. And then what are you going to do? Fire him and then preserve the team he built? That doesn't make any sense. I hope the Leafs pull their head out of their bottom and play like a team worth believing in. They've performed so well all season long. They added well at the deadline. There's no reason for them to be playing like this. Figure it out. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. I'm going to be streaming the Leafs Sens game on Saturday. Oh, you're playing the Sens on Saturday, and we got a new Steve Dangle podcast coming tomorrow. Should be fun.